Hey guys, it's Miss Marcy, and I'm here to do a movie review on Straight Outta Compton, y'all. So listen, I just got back from the movie theater from watching this movie, and I want to tell y'all this movie is good. Okay, it's a good movie. And let me just start off. First of all, if anybody don't know who this movie was about, Straight Outta Compton is about NWA. Their rise to stardom as a rappers or whatever. Now NWA, which stands for Niggas with Attitude, was basically they were the pioneers of gangster rap. And the group consisted of Ice Cube, MC Ren, DJ Yeller, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E. Eric Eazy-E, right. Well, I'm going to get to all their names anyway. So, first of all, let me just give y'all a little bit of background on myself. Now, I am from the hip-hop era, the old school hip-hop era. I'm from that era, and I was around during the NWA era. I was there when NWA first released their first album. I was like a little kid, it was something different for us. So it was like, back then we were used to, rappers who really didn't cuss, and then NWA came on the scene and it was like all this vulgar language. And of course, as children, our moms didn't want us listening to that stuff, but we snuck and did it anyway. So it was just, their music was exciting to us. And then the things that they were talking about, they were talking about gang banging, they were just talking about a lot of violent shit. So we had no business listening to this stuff, but hey, we were children, we wanted to hear it. You know how it is, your parents tell you they don't want you to do something, it makes you want to do it even more. So that's how we were. But anyway, so NWA they were the it group to us. They were exciting, and then like the lifestyle that they talked about was just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes down in South Central LA. And here's what's very interesting too about NWA is that, they actually called a lot of attention to the police brutality and the racial profiling, which is actually existing today. If you ain't living under a rock somewhere, you know what I'm saying, you don't know. But that stuff is existing today. And see, NWA, because of their lyrics and their vulgar language and stuff like that, they were really a controversial group. But I think the more controversy that was around them is what, actually, what actually helps their, get, a lot of publicity, you know what I'm saying? Not that they couldn't do it on their own because their lyrics, their lyrics itself brought a lot of attention, but because they were also drawing a lot of attention, with the law. Like when they had the song "Fuck the Police," yeah, that really did it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, overall, like I said, this group. They were the pioneers of gangster rap. They were very instrumental in the hip hop culture, period, because they kind of. For me, what I remember about NWA and what I liked about NWA, because see, some women I've heard a few women say, women shouldn't support this movie, especially black women, because NWA were the pioneers of, basically degrading women and calling them bitches and hoes and stuff like that. But, I disagree with that, because before there was an NWA, there was a foul-mouthed, potty-mouth ass rapper by the name of Too Short. And honey, it ain't getting no more foul than that, okay? That dude degraded the hell out of us women. And I remember listening to Too Short as a child too. Yeah, he was another rapper that I wasn't supposed to listen to, but I did anyway. But I remember listening to him and actually feeling offended. Like, oh my gosh. Like, when he had this one song, oh my gosh, where it was called Don't Fight the Feeling. Oh my gosh, where he just... Oh, but if y'all don't know who Too Short is, Google him and look him up. But anyway, it started with him. I think he degraded black women. He degraded women, period. But I think with NWA, I was never offended because I felt like I wasn't a bitch. I wasn't the hoe they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And to me, they kind of came off more like they were only rapping about women that they knew that presented themselves like that. So I never took offense to them. I I liked their music. I was bobbing my head. You know, I have older brothers and older cousins and stuff, and they were playing it, so we was listening to NWA, honey, until they went out, you know. But anyway, back to this movie. Okay, so the movie was really good. Like I said, NWA was a group with Ice Cube, which is O'Shea Jackson is Ice Cube, and then Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, DJ Yella, MC Ren, and the DOC. I really didn't know of him to be with NWA, but I know he had a hard affiliation. He had a real tight affiliation with NWA, you know. But so those were the main players in the group. So anyway, well, those were the players of the group. So anyway, so we have Ice Cube. We have Ice Cube, who was played by O'Shea Jackson Jr., which is Ice Cube's son. And then Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre. Jason Mitchell played Eazy-E. And Aldis Hodge played MC Ren. And then we have Marlon Yates Jr. as the DOC. And we have R. Marcos Taylor, who played Suge Knight. And Kara Patterson, who played Tamika, which is one of Dr. Dre's kids' mamas. And then we have Alexandria Shipp. Y'all know her from the Aaliyah movie. She played Aaliyah. And she played as Kim, which is Ice Cube's wife. So anyway, and then we had Paul Giamatti, who played Jerry Heller, which was he was one of the founders of the group. And then we have Elena Good, who played Nicole, which was one of Dre's baby's mamas. So they showed two of Dre's baby mamas, it looked like. So anyway, and then, you know, whatever. So anyway, so I think that these actors, they killed this shit. And here's the thing, I really didn't, the only person in this movie that I ever saw before was Alexandria Shipp from the Aaliyah movie. The rest of these people I had never seen, but they did so freaking good. Well, I would expect Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., to do well, because, I mean, come on, this is your dad. You basically have studied him all your life, so you better get in the middle. You better get in front of that camera and kill it. You know what I'm saying? But the guy that played Dre, it's they just had these guys' mannerisms down packed to the T. Suge Knight's character, oh my gosh. And I don't care no matter what goes on, Suge is always portrayed as this big old bully. My gosh. Now, I'm not going to do any spoilers. I'm not going to spoil the movie for anybody. I'm not going to give any, too much detail or whatever. But I'm just going to say that overall, this was a good movie. I was happy to see this movie come to the big screen, because, like I said, I grew up during that era. And I knew about a lot of the stuff that went on in the movie. I knew about it from, back in the day, from hearing about it, like the police brutality and stuff, like the stuff that they were going through when they made the song "Fuck the Police." I remember the controversy that caused. I just remember the controversy that surrounded this group. So it was really cool and interesting, and it was really amazing to see this movie, their story go to the big screen like that. I thought that was really dope. And I think the writers and the producers, they did an amazing job at executing this story, because, like I said, I knew a lot of the things that happened in the movie before I even saw it. I knew a lot of things that happened with the group, but so I actually was really curious as to how the movie was going to play out and how good it was going to be, because, sometimes when you already know what's going to happen, it's like, oh, I'm bored, but this was actually good. And, there was a lot of funny parts in this movie too. There was a lot of very, very funny parts. And, it's their story. They had a good story. And, it's so sad. It's just so sad to know that, Eazy-E, Eric Wright died of AIDS. And, man, and they also kind of showed that in the movie too, how he was just really into banging out these hoes, you know what I'm saying? And he had I think she was his wife. Yeah, she was his wife. He had a wife and everything, and she was actually pregnant during the time that he found out he had AIDS or whatever. It was, I don't know, that was just really sad. And what I didn't know was that Dr. Dre actually had a brother that died during the time of their career too. I never knew that either. Dr. Dre actually had a son. Or he had a son that passed away. In a few years back. Now, this is another thing that I noticed that they didn't do that I thought they were going to put in the movie. Now, some of y'all may not know this, but the singer Miss Chalet, the singer with the really high squeaky voice, she was on R&B Divas, and she's like made really good songs back in the day. She made Something in My Heart, Something in My Heart. But anyway, she actually has a child with Dre. She has a child with Dre, but she also has a child with Suge Knight. She was married to Suge Knight at one point. I thought they were going to kind of put that in the movie, but I guess, they didn't or whatever, for maybe she just didn't want it in there or whatever, but she had a child with both of them. She had history with both of them. And when the whole Death Row East Coast thing, West Coast East Coast rival was going on back in the day, I always wonder like how that went, because she had kids with both these men, and both of their teams were like banging, going at it, banging heads or whatever. And I just always wonder, like, when they showed up at the house to get the kids, or whatever, but they didn't show it. So, but anyway, so I also liked at the end of the movie how they showed how Dr. Dre, how the people's careers that he had something to do with, like Snoop's, Eminem's, 50 Cent, how he was a very instrumental part in their careers as well. So I thought that was cool. And what else? It was just overall a good movie, and I was just in the movie theater hype as hell, like, oh yeah, who y'all come to see? Easy, everybody, come on. That was the jam. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when Ice Cube went solo, I was always an Ice Cube fan, but I really fell in love with Ice Cube when he did his solo album. I think it was Death Certificate. I think that was it was whichever. I'm thinking Steady Mobbin' was a separate one, but Steady Mobbin' was actually on Death Certificate. But anyway, that was a dope album. Ice Cube was one of the dopest rappers back in the day. He was one of them. I didn't say he was one of them. So anyway, but hold on, y'all. I gotta say this. When it comes to the dopest diss records of all time, I'm gonna have to say Ice Cube's No Vaseline is like at the top. That's like probably the number one. And then comes Ether and Hit 'Em Up. Ether by Nas and Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. Them were the dopest diss records of all time. Like, I know, Drake got his back-to-back against Meek Mill, and that's dope. But man, when No Vaseline, man, Cube went hard. Like when they played it in the movies, man, I was like one of the main people. Like, God damn, I'm glad y'all said it all. Used to be hard, now you just went and saw. First you was down with the AK, and now I see you on a video with Miss Chalet. Man, he killed them. Like, he killed them when they couldn't even be resuscitated on that song. Like, that was like dope. But anyway, also I said that Tamika was Dre's girl, but no, Tamika was actually Eazy-E's girl. So I wanted to make that correction too. So anyway, but yeah, so I was pleased with the movie, and yeah, so I guess that's it. So if you have not gone to go see the movie, go see it. It's really good. And it did good on Rotten Tomatoes, y'all. Can y'all believe that? Because, Rotten Tomatoes, they don't be giving nobody shit. Like, it got like 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, yeah. And it's at 50 million at the box office. So, and that's only on this first day. Like, that's amazing. I honestly didn't think, I thought that it was going to be a good movie, but I didn't think the critics would think it was going to be a good movie. So that's amazing. And one thing I want to say too about Ice Cube and Dr. Dre is that you can't help but respect those brothers. They were part of the whole movement of gangster. They brought in the gangster rap. Um, they expressed, their whole group expressed the right to be free, the freedom of expressing yourself and saying what you want to say. But you look at their careers, especially Ice Cube, because he went from rapping to acting to producing and writing, and like he's done some amazing things over the years. And you know what I like most about Ice Cube is a family man all day, every day. Like he's a father of four. He's been with his wife Kim for like over 20 years. Like that's really something. And then like after he would do shows and stuff, he wouldn't go hang out with the boys, and he'd go home with his wife and kids. Like that, yeah, that is so sexy. And then he fine. Oh my gosh, Ice Cube is so fine to me. So that's cool. That's cool. But anyway, so I don't want to ramble on. I don't want to give y'all too much. I just want to tell y'all that overall, this is a good ass movie. It gets an A+ from me, from Miss Marcy. And I think if you haven't seen it, go see it. Go check it out. It's good. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I didn't want to give too much because I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. But yeah, so. Alright, y'all. And until next time, well, thank you so much for watching. Remember to live, love, and be happy. And I'm out of here. Peace.